for this activity, we're going to continue using the CV curve tool. If you remember the last time we used the CV curve tool, we created the cup that we see on the screen. One of the big things you notice about this is it's very angular, very modern. We're going to create a different kind of cup for our second attempt at using the CV curve tool. This one is going to incorporate a lot more curves. Yeah, so that'll be a little bit of a way to unlock a lot of the strengths of the CV curve tool. Yeah, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take our cup and like move it over to the side, maybe drop it off to the side of the grid. Yeah, so we have enough room to work with. The next thing I'm going to ask you folks to do is jump to your front view. Yeah, so jump to your front view. Okay, now we are going to be dropping in an image on here. So this is what's called an image plane. It allows you to kind of use it as a visual guide. This is the cup, by the way, that we're going to be making. So we're going to make like an old school goblet to kind of, practice a lot of our curving. Yeah, so you notice again, this is quite a contrast from our very angular cup that we originally started with. Okay, to do this, and image plane is really helpful visually. You don't necessarily have to have one of these, but it'll definitely help with accuracy. Yeah, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to insert that image plane into my front view. Yeah, so you notice I'm in my front view over here. I'm going to go to view, I'm going to choose image plane, and then I'm going to choose the import image option. Yeah, so view, image plane, import image. Okay, now when we do that, you're going to be allowed to go to your computer to kind of find it. Yeah, so in your files, I have my Goblet guide over here, so I'm going to click on that and click on open. What this will allow me to do, is now it creates this image plane. You'll see it listed over here too. I can actually highlight it, double click on it in the outliner, or double click on it in our channel box. I'll rename this, so this will just be my Goblet guide image. Yeah, so that'll let me know that that's what that is. Okay, the other thing I can kind of do with this is I can move it around. Yeah, so it is something that you can edit just like an everyday object. The other thing I'm probably going to do is like scale it up a bit. Yeah, so this is not absolutely necessary, but something if you folks like kind of want to have it a little bit, take up a little bit more space in your area, you can do this. Yeah, okay, one thing you're going to notice is I am going to be dropping it below the x-axis, so right about to this point right here. Just because of the way that this picture was taken, you'll probably notice that the goblet is taken kind of at an angle. Yeah, so the bottom though of it should be flat. Yeah, which is not quite what we're seeing over here, but we can still use it as a great guide. All right, okay, so we got our Goblet guide image. We're now gonna start with our CV curve tool. So I'm gonna repeat this process. Again, image plane is helpful. If you wanna just kind of have this open on the side and visualize it, you can do that as well. I'm gonna go back to my CV curve tool, so I'm gonna go create curve tools and then choose the CV curve tool option. Once again, just like with the other cup, I'm gonna start at the center of the grid. So coordinate 0, 0 for, so 0 for X, 0 for Y. Yeah, and so go to that origin point, and again, the bottom of the cup needs to be flat. Yeah, so it will stand and not tip over very easily. So I'm gonna go to the 0, 0 coordinates, and I'm gonna click on it one time. Okay, again, I want this to be very strong, so then I'm gonna click on it 3 more times in the same spots. There was 1, that's a square. Gonna keep doing that. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then now we have our beginnings. Yeah, again, remember, always starts on the y-axis. You do want to make sure that that's your origin point. Okay, from here I'm going to go out to right about here, and this will be our that'll kind of be like where we're going to have the bottom of the goblet will stop off at. I'm going to once again make this very flat. So 1, it's going to be white line. Click on it again, turning blue. 3 and 4. Yeah, then again, it'll be nice and flat on here. All right, now the next part is going to be kind of interesting. We're now going to be clicking just one time for the vast majority of the rest of this. And the reason why is because the goblet is very curved. Yeah, so we don't want to have it be too straight lined, or it'll almost look like we're doing like a geometric representation of it, which is not the case here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of I'll zoom in so it's a little bit easier to see, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to click one time over here. Yeah, so you notice that's creating this straight line over here, and then I'm going to click another time over here. Yeah, so you notice 1, 2 clicks. What the CV curve tool will do is when you see something like this is it'll create a curve in between these points. Yeah, so you notice it kind of created a curved line, even though our points are like a little bit further up. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna kind of continue this process. If you notice, there's kind of a solid section over here. So what I'm gonna do is solidify that area a little bit. So I'm just gonna click on maybe a second time, and then I'm going to go up here, kind of follow. So 2 and 3, click to about here. Yeah, so I'm following the guide. Right about here, once again, if you notice, it kind of changes direction. So maybe I'll click a second time right on that spot just to solidify it or like make it a little bit stronger. Okay, and then now I'm going to kind of work my way up over here. Okay, right to over here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then again, another section, maybe I'll click one more time over there. Okay, and then we're just kind of getting this curve over here, so out to here, out to here. Yeah, and you notice I'm kind of clicking, trying to be economical with my clicks. Yeah, it is possible to do way more clicks than what I'm doing. But if you do end up doing more clicks, it's just harder to edit later on. Yeah. Okay, so right now I'm at the neck over here. This one I'll probably click twice. Yeah, so I'll do a second click right there because again, that's a subsection. Then get to kind of over here. This one feels a little bit curved. Yeah, so right over here, and then again, this is gonna go into the main portion of the goblet, yeah, or the top of the goblet. So right over here, I'm gonna double click one over there, and then once again, yeah, kind of following the outline of the cup. Yeah, for this one, I'm actually gonna maybe start a little bit on the outside. Yeah, so click, and then click up here. A little bit weak, so I'll probably go right to here instead. Okay, and then click to here. Okay, right over here, going out, and then going out to the top. Now this is the mouth right here. It's really hard to tell how to do this, just because again we got this rounded surface up here. So I'm gonna kind of keep it the same height. So right over here, I'm just gonna do the lip. Yeah, so we're gonna kind of go up and around, and boom, that's it. Okay, now once you got these 2 clicks up here, that gives us our thickness. So as you're kind of going downwards, I'm gonna ask you to basically follow the path that was laid out for you prior with your previous clicks. Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of drop those in. Okay, and then this kind of looks like right over here is where our liquid will not go any further. Yeah, so this is where we don't want actually your liquid to drip into the neck of this goblet. That would be very, very unfortunate, especially if you have to clean it later on, and it is kind of, yeah. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna kind of close it up right up here on the y-axis. So I'm just gonna click one more time right over there. Yeah, and then again we'll have our curved shape over here. Not too bad. Yeah, again, this is still editable. Yeah, but this should give us our layout for the goblet. I'm then going to hit the return key. Yeah, and then if you take a look at this in your perspective view, yeah, you'll notice like it kind of occupies the same amount of space. I am going to go ahead and click on the goblet guide image in my outliner and push this back. Yeah, so push this back so we can kind of see like what's going on there. Okay, and then here's our curve. Yeah, so remember again, you hit return to lock it in. Okay, we are going to be revolving this, so then you're going to go back to your surfaces menu, choose the revolve option. Okay, and then that will nicely spin your design, yeah, your CV curve, yeah, in 360. Okay, and then we can kind of take a look at it on the side, right? So remember, you still have your control curve, you still have your revolve surfaces, yeah, which is going to be the goblet itself. So I'll rename it in the channel box over here. Yeah, so there's our goblet. Okay, we can kind of slide this one out once again, yeah. And then remember, if you need to do any kind of edits, yeah, this is still a possibility in here, particularly if you're in your front view, yeah. So if you right click, go into, if you right click on your CV curve tool, choose Control Vertices, yeah, you can actually click on this and you can use that to edit, yeah, because remember your control curve is still very much the boss until you you change their relationship, right, or you break them up, yeah. So but right now they are still they still have that kind of situation where the boss, whatever the CV curve tool being the boss does, the geometry of your object kind of just follows along, yeah. So we can make some weird stuff. Again, this looks like more of a candle holder, maybe something like that, yeah. All right, okay, so again, that's your setup. So that should be your goblet. Again, utilize your image guide if you want. Yeah, again, I will provide that for you, but if you want to just kind of eyeball it and test it out, that's fine. There's a good chance though, if you do eyeball it, you're probably gonna eventually end up having to go and right click in here and then move around your control vertices to edit it. All right, but yeah, there's our goblet. Last step I'm gonna do here is, like, once we're done with our goblet guide image, we can always select it, yeah, in the outliner, or yeah, select it in your outliner. Okay, and then if you don't need it anymore, we can delete that. Also, if you remember these two, yeah, once we kind of have the shape that we like, we can kind of sever the relationship between the two. So select both of those, right? Your control curve and your goblet. We can go edit, delete by type, and choose history. Okay, at that point, again, control vertices, right? Yeah, suddenly they are no longer they no longer have any kind of relations. Yeah. All right, and so then we kind of can use this space once again for our bottle curve. So I'm then going to click on the control curve, or what was the control curve, and just pressing delete. Right, and so now we have two cups here. We have our more modern cup, yeah, which is this one over here. Okay, and then we have our goblet, yeah, so we have those side by side. So we're getting there. Notice I'm kind of moving these over because the next tutorial that we're going to be going over is going to be creating a water bottle, once again using an image plane.